I think that was mostly Lindsay. Okay, here I'm gonna record. All right, we're gonna get going. Ready? I'm gonna let people in. Hi, everybody. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I think that we are live. Let me just make sure that this is going live on the Facebook world too. It's loading. In the meantime, thank you all so much for joining us for this Zoom. So we just want to make sure we're going to keep everybody who's not a council member on mute while we're speaking. So there'll be a time to, There'll be a time to ask questions to the council at the end. And in the meantime, if you could just stay muted and listening until that point, you can always put questions into the chat. And if you're watching on Facebook, you can put questions right into the comments. So are we live on Facebook? Siobhan, can you confirm that? Do you see it?
Yes, we are. I checked. We are.
Yay, thank you. Okay, cool. And I'm sorry about my dings. So thanks everybody for joining us. Keep them coming in. We're going to stay muted while we're if you're not a council member. So thanks for joining us. This is our first monthly co-op council check-in. I'm Katie. I'm the director of the Kingston Food Co-op, and we have our council members. Hi. We have our council members here who are also going to, I'm going to turn off that sound. We have our council members who are also going to be introducing themselves shortly. We just wanted to say that this is, we're here to create an opportunity for accountability between the council and our members, who are, of course, the lifeblood of this co-op and the work that we're doing. So in 2021, we have big plans, lots of exciting things happening. And part of that is also building in opportunities for us to engage more together. So without further ado, we're gonna hear first, we'll do quick introductions of our council and our staff, and then we'll launch into some updates. So again, I'm Katie. I am, my pronouns are she, her. I'm the director of the Kingston Food Co-op. And I'm also an appointed council member. And I will pass to Kevius.
Hi, I am Kevius. As Katie just said, I am also an appointed council member. Yeah, I've been a part of the council for a few months now, and it's just really exciting being a part of this community. I see some familiar faces in here, so nice to see you all and nice to see you newer people. As Katie expressed, we have a lot that's going to happen in 2021 that we're putting our efforts towards. The first is hiring and searching for a general manager for the Kingston Food.
Can I interrupt you really quickly? Because we're just going to do interruptions super fast.
Oh, introductions. Okay.
We'll do all interruptions and then we'll jump in. Okay, yeah.
All right, I'm Kevius. All right, and I'll popcorn it over to Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe Greenberg, and I am also a council member. I'm so excited to be with you all. Thanks for showing up. I'll pass it over to Veronica.
Hi, I'm Breonica Martinez, a council member too since I think it's almost 2 years now. Yes, in April. And we're very excited to see all of you guys here, and thank you for joining us. I want to pass it to Lindsay.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Vaughn Miller, a council member, and so excited to see you all here and to start this process of accountability with our members. We have so much to tell you. So first, let's introduce Siobhan.
Hi, everyone. My name's Siobhan. I'm the outreach coordinator for the Kingston Food Co-op, and really happy to see that you guys are here. Thank you so much for coming. And Katie, if it's all right with you, do you want me to jump into like our membership update? That's okay. Okay.
Hey, Lindsay, did you go? Oh,
I was very short.
Okay. Okay.
Quick.
So yeah, we have 1,021 members in our co-op. We broke 1,000 the beginning of this month. I want to say in between late December and the beginning of this month, at the end of our Solidarity membership drive that we had the month of December. We had a drive and fundraiser to raise funds for our Solidarity memberships. Those are the memberships that we offer at low and no cost. And we set a goal to raise $2,000. We raised over $4,000, which is so amazing. I was so excited to just see the outpour of support from our community members and organizations. But we have now 160 Solidarity members in our co-op. Our goal is to have and maintain at least 20% of our membership to be Solidarity members and to be as inclusive and representative of Kingston and all Kingston communities as possible. I'm gonna pass it back, I guess, to Kivius, and Kivius can give us a little bit of a timeline overview for what's come this year.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, feeding off of that. So what's in store for 2021? The first is hiring a general manager, to carry out this vision once the store is there. And the second is making sure a store is there. So designing and constructing the store is on the agenda, the beginning of the construction. The third is incorporating a stable governance structure for us to abide by. The fourth is adding another council member that add to our progress in getting all these goals accomplished. The next is increased transparency, so more member and community engagement events. And the sixth, is finishing our business plan, which includes incorporating a triple bottom line approach, people, planet, profit, into it. In addition to integrating local currencies and potentially unconventional pricing models such as income-based pricing into the structure. And speaking to the development of the store, I'll pass it over to Lindsay to speak more to what the Building and Development Committee is doing.
I think thanks Kivius. I think everyone is pretty aware that our building is located on Broadway in the old Honda showroom. And obviously is not ready to be a grocery store quite yet, but we have a building committee that's made up of co-op members. So we have some architects and project managers and designers and people that really have kind of a high level of experience working on getting our requests for proposals out into the world so that we can find the actual people to build the store. What they have decided to do, and the council's been working very closely with them, so there's usually 2/3 of the council at all of the building committee meetings as well. But what they came to, the decision was made to do a 2-step selection process. So instead of going directly to a request for proposals, we're doing a request for qualifications. And this will allow us to have a stronger working partnership with whoever the designers and architects are that we choose. And we decided to go this way so that we could have more community engagement and involvement in that design process. So it wasn't just like we send this project out and they tell us what they're going to do. So that will be coming up in the next few months. You'll be seeing a lot more once we decide who the designers and architects are. There'll be a lot of conversations going on within the community at large and our co-op community. So it's very important to us too, in this request for qualifications, one of the things we're going to be looking for is an alignment with our values. And you can find our core values on the website. I'm sure you've seen them as well, but it's accountability, food and social justice. Help me out here. Who's got the other ones?
Oh my God, the rules of 3. I can never remember the third thing. Openness and accountability, transformation of the food system, and oh my God.
equity, openness and
Thank
equity.
you. Thank you. Oh my God, openness and equity. Thank you.
Siobhan
It takes
saving
a
the day.
team. Siobhan really saving the day. That's why there's more than one of us. So that's going to be really important in which direction we go with our designers and architects, is that they're really strongly aligned with our values. And once we build a store, we will need a manager. So Veronica is going to talk more about that.
Okay, thank you, Lindsay. So we will start searching for a general manager this year, and hopefully we'll find the ideal candidate by the fall of this year. And we need to set up support systems so we know what we can offer in terms of training and support before hiring one. We will be looking for a few community members with HR and or co-op general management. Sorry, my brain freeze. Okay, experience, sorry. And so they can advise us in this process. There's a few qualifications that we will be looking into for the ideal general manager. So we hope that he or they are deeply aligned with our co-op values. Is a local person. They have a retail or grocery management experience. They're excited to collaborate and lead a startup team. They have financial knowledge and many more qualifications. We are excited to start this. It might be a hard process to do it, but we hope that we can find the perfect general manager for the co-op so we can work together in our core values and mission of the co-op. And now for governance, we have Joe, who will talk
Thank
more
you,
about it.
Veronica. Oh, thanks so much, Veronica. Okay, so in terms of governance, in the next few months, we're working on our structural stability, and we're doing this to ensure a successful venture as we go forward toward the opening of our store. And so we're doing this by developing new governance policies. We're also at work writing a council handbook and developing our consensus decision-making process with a workshop with a former council member named Evelyn Wright. Thank you. So I'll pass that to Katie.
Okay, thanks everybody. The time is flying by. So thanks. First of all, I'll just say quickly, you can continue adding your questions into the chat. And also if you're watching on Facebook Live, you can add them into the comments and we'll get to your questions really soon. So yeah, well, of course, one of the important pieces of a co-op is the cooperative piece. And that means that we rely on involvement from our members. And so we're really excited about this opportunity and then some other opportunities that we have coming up to get engaged with the co-op. So one of the ways that you can get involved is to join one of our working groups. And right now we've had a couple in the past that are either on pause or kind of were ad hoc committees that aren't working anymore. That one of them was the core values group that established our beautiful core values and has since disbanded because they've done their beautiful work. And we have two working groups that are actively meeting now. So one is the Food and Social Justice Working Group that actually just met on Monday. And the other is the Member Engagement Working Group. So we can go into more about those working groups and kind of the scope of each one if you want to ask questions about them. I actually see one in the chat about the working groups, so we can talk more about those. And you can also find a lot of information about them on our website. So kingstonfoodcoop.com/working-groups. And so those meetings are open to all members. You can join them whenever you'd like to. We also have council elections coming up. So of course, we're a democratically operated organization with representative democracy. So each co-op member gets a vote. And there's an annual election each year where at least one council seat, which is our board of directors, will become available in most cases. So We do have elections coming up this year. The elections open in April. Lindsay, so we held our first election in April of 2020. Lindsay has a 3-year term, Joe has a 2-year term, and Veronica has a 1-year term. And so Veronica's term is coming to a close. And so Veronica is going to decide pretty soon if she's going to run for re-election. And then we also have an appointed seat that's open. So if you're interested in running for election to be part of the decision-making team as the council, definitely reach out, and you have to be a member to do that. And we'll have lots of supports in place for any interested candidates for that. And of course, we're starting these monthly check-ins each month, and I think we're gonna do them on different days each month. Is that true, or different times, so that we can fit more people into our schedule? I've heard from a lot of folks that this time isn't great for them. So we're gonna try to make it as accessible as possible, and the recordings will be available publicly after this. And then of course, you can always reach out to us via email and follow us on Facebook, so you can get lots of great updates. So let's dive into some questions. I saw a couple come through already. So
yeah, I recorded them. So is it all right if I just start order that they came in?
Yeah, great.
Okay, so one question was, why isn't the co-op a .org?
That's a great question, and a pretty simple one to answer. .orgs are typically nonprofits, and we're not a nonprofit. We're a cooperative corporation. So it's different from a standard corporation or an LLC, and it's different from a nonprofit organization because of our cooperative structure. We do profit sharing, which is different from a nonprofit model. So a lot of co-ops have a .coop at the end of their name, and when we set up our website, we didn't do that, and now we haven't gone back to change it. So we could, if members want us to, but that's the shortish answer. I saw there was another question also about what is the Solidarity Fund and membership. Do you want to answer that, Siobhan?
Yeah, sure. So somebody asked, asked to explain what a Solidarity membership is to the co-op. And a Solidarity membership is essentially a low or no cost membership to the co-op. So it's a lifetime membership, just as any of the other, no matter what price you pay for the membership, it's good and active for life, including our Solidarity memberships. So they're between $0 and $15 for people with low incomes or people of color, regardless of income. And we offer that to make memberships of the co-op as accessible as possible to everyone, and to people of color as a small form of reparations, because people of color have historically been marginalized and counted out of like an equitable food system. So that's why we offer them for free regardless of income. But again, this is an option for people. So we encourage all members to decide what they can afford to pay, or to choose what they'd like to pay for. So it's an option. And we don't ask for any like proof of income, or there's no, what's the word I'm trying to look for? No income criteria in order. It's just a self-assessment that we ask folks to give an honest assessment of what they can afford to pay and make that decision for themselves. I hope that answered that. If I'm leaving anything out, council, please help me out.
And you can, it's supported. We're able to offer those low and free and low cost shares memberships through donations. So if you want to support the Solidarity Fund, you can always contribute to it, whether you're a member or not a member, and that's at kingstonfoodcoop.com/solidarity. I love to see so many people popping in. Thanks everyone for coming. We have several more questions. Let's see.
Okay, I will read off. So Estimated opening day. I'm just going in order. Estimated
Perfect.
opening day for the co-op.
Oh, this is such a hard question. And you probably noticed that we sort of avoid it. It's not an easy one to answer. So long story short, we plan to open in 2022. Is that an opening day? No, but it's an opening year. So hopefully but that's about as much as we know at this particular moment. We have a timeline, but everything, we're really learning so much as we go. And, you've heard some of the things that need to happen before we can open our store, like finish our business plan, hire a GM, design and construct the entire store. So we have a significant amount of work to do. And you've probably heard us say at this point that co-ops usually take 4 to 8 years to open, and we're on the shorter end of that timeline, but it's a long process. And we're also 2.5 years in. So 4 years is not 4 years starting from now, but 2022 is our opening year. Long-winded answer.
Thank you, Katie. Somebody asked us to describe the various committees. I can start by answering this one, but would love for you guys to fill in any holes. So like Katie kind of mentioned before, we have working groups are basically the committees that we have, and there's a food and social justice working group that just met for the first time since I'm not sure what month last year because it was before I came on the co-op staff, but the food and social justice group just met this Monday at 5 o'clock, and we're trying to figure out what we want to focus our energy on, and we kind of as a group talked about like our various experiences at different grocery stores in the community, and sort of how we can like deconstruct different systems of oppression that we see in the shopping experience. But there's going to be a lot more to come as this group evolves and as we sort of figure out what direction we want to go. And we're also having a member engagement working group meeting happening Thursday, January 21st at 5 o'clock. And this group as well hasn't met since last year, I don't believe. So the purpose of the member engagement group is to foster a sense of ownership among co-op members. And so that's what we're gonna figure out and discuss when we meet again on the 21st. If I left anything out, guys, please fill in.
I'll just jump in on one thing, Siobhan. The member engagement group also will work on getting the word out about elections, finding good nominees and engaging the entire membership in voting. We have a goal to have like a 60% voting rate. So that will fall under the purview of member engagement as well. So if you're interested in sort of like rallying your fellow cooperators into participating, it's a great place to be, and come to the meeting on the 21st.
Does anyone who's here on the Zoom part of this call want to unmute and ask a quick question? Just want to give room for voices too. Okay, in the meantime, Siobhan, if you want to, I think we have some more.
Yeah, no problem. We'll keep on rolling. So will the Kingston Food Co-op use member labor to run the storefront, or will it be primarily co-op employees? Has this been decided yet? And we have probably after this time for like 1 to 2 more questions. Just keeping track of.
Well, we can answer that one really quickly. We will hire a staff. We will not use labor from the membership. It will be a well-paid staff who also will be owners. They will be employee owners, and they will vote as well for council members. So when we are up and running, we'll have a council that will be made up of equal parts member owners, employee owners, and then also a couple appointed seats.
Thanks, Lindsay. One more question that came in. Will the building be fossil fuel free? And is the passive house standard a requirement of the RFQ, which is request for qualifications?
I can answer that unless somebody else. You. Um, so yes, we did kind of extensive research on the building development committee about, you know, what kinds of sustainability standards and certifications we wanted to pursue. And so long story short is we're gonna figure out what budget we can work within that allows, or how we can best work within our budget to do the very best we can ecologically. So I think what we also learned is that passive house may or may not be the right certification for us because you know, it really requires a sealed envelope of the building. And, you know, with a grocery store, there'll be a lot of movement in and out. And I'm not a builder or a passive house certified person, but that's the understanding that I came to from after our conversations with the building development committee. But again, this is still ongoing and we have not committed to any kind of certifications. We've also looked at like the Living Building Challenge and some other sustainability certifications that are even further beyond passive house. And so we're definitely prioritizing ecologically beneficial building strategies. And yes, it's something that we're looking into in the RFQ. And the RFQ is a request for qualifications, which is the first step of our selection process for our design team. So yes, it's happening.
I'm noticing a lot of questions that are coming up about the building process, which is not surprising because that's sort of like the very exciting concrete thing that we've got going on. I wonder if we should do, you know, our next meeting, we should plan to focus a little bit more on a presentation from the building committee on all of these questions because they're quite good and people want to know.
That's a good idea. I'll record them. I'll jot all them down to help you guys focus that when you put it together.
I love that. And we have a couple more minutes. So I'll talk a couple about the size of the building, which I can answer really quickly. We're working within an existing structure. We have a site located already, which is 708 Broadway, the old Honda building. And so that whole space is 9,000 square feet. So that's kind of our maximum space allocation. And so the experts that we've worked with have suggested that we start with a 6,000 square foot retail space, and we save the other 3,000 for you know, back of house receiving, office space, community space, whatever else we want to use. So we'll have a 6,000 square foot store that will, you know, the grocery part, which is about a mid-size grocery store. I know it's kind of hard to imagine what 6,000 square feet is. But you can imagine that I think that the new Mother Earth is like 18,000, the Hannaford downtown or uptown in the Hannaford Plaza is like, I think 36,000. And, you know, I think the High Fall, actually, Emmett, maybe you know the square footage of the High Falls. Okay. I think the High Falls Food Club might be like 3,000 square feet. I'm not sure. So just for a frame of reference, so you get a sense of the scale we're talking about.
Thanks, Katie. Somebody asked, are there plans for community engagement before the actual store opens? And I can just answer that quickly, and maybe Lindsay, you can help me out. But yes, there are plans for community engagement before the store opens, and that's hopefully one of the goals of the member engagement. Hopefully will come out of our upcoming member engagement working group meetings of how we can engage the community at large and engage our members and still do things as a co-op, you know, even navigating through COVID and that sort of thing. And someone else also asked if our working group meetings happen via Zoom, and yes, right now they're only remote at this point, happening via Zoom. One question, actually, I don't see any new questions. I think that was it. Someone asked if we're looking at, yeah.
Go ahead, Siobhan.
Oh, I think it says, could you sign up for solar power or do solar panels?
Yeah, so we're looking into all of those options. Solar, we'll see if we can tie into an existing solar grid, or if our roof can support it, maybe we'll have solar panels on the roof. But yeah, we're definitely prioritizing all of that sustainability, ecologically oriented building development work.
Do we have time for one more? I see one more just came in.
I think that's a pretty quick one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see that one, about the buying club.
Mhm.
We did investigate this. We sent out a member survey and we received about 100 responses to that. And although there is interest in a buying club, we do not have the capacity to do that as a council. There were too many moving parts that we just wouldn't have the capacity to handle right now with just the 6 of us doing this. So that's not to say that a buying club couldn't happen if it was a completely like member driven operation, but I really tried, but we can't do it.
Thank you, Lindsay. And it's 5:31. So I think this concludes our first council check-in. Thank you guys so much for being here and for bringing all your questions.
Thank you all so much. And yes, so check your email for dates for upcoming months, and we will see you at the next one. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.